I'm Loren Fogelman, coach of champions at expertsportsperformance.com, working with high-achieving athletes, coaches, and teams to be cool, calm, and confident for winning results. Today's topic is, my coach hates me, now what? I was working with David, who's a Division I tennis player, because he was convinced that his coach had him singled out and he was out to get him off the team. What we talked about is that he was constantly being yelled at by his coach. He felt like he was totally being singled out. He was the only one that couldn't do anything right on the team, according to his coach. Because of that, it stopped being fun a long, long time ago. And it was really frustrating because David was telling me that his coach would tell him what to correct, but he wouldn't show him how to make those corrections to the coach's satisfaction. So you can imagine his frustration level. Because of this, doubt began to creep in where he wondered if he could do anything right. In fact, it got to the point where David was feeling like he was the weakest link on the team. He even wondered whether he should continue pursuing tennis, even though there were dreams of going pro. So these were some of the steps that David and I worked on to be able to turn it around. The first thing was to take an inventory. David needs to be really, really honest with himself and discover the gaps in his performance, in his game, that needed to be tightened up. It wasn't just the physical game, it was the mental game also. Because what came out of this is that there were parts of David where he just wasn't being very coachable. He was given the attitude of, I know. And that's not what coaches want to see on a team. So that was the first thing, was taking inventory. Next, we looked at interested. Was David interested, or was he fully committed to doing whatever was necessary? Because when he was just interested, he was only working on the parts that he was already good at or that were fun for him. But when we started to work on things and take him from interested to committed, then he was willing to put effort and time into the things that weren't really a lot of fun for him, but he knew would improve his game. And that's when he started to see a shift in how he played on the courts, but also a shift in his coach's attitude, because his coaches was able to see a change and improvements in how he played in competition. So, interested versus committed. Which one are you? Afterwards is inquiry. This was one of the toughest things that David had to do. He was encouraged to go ahead and approach his coach to talk with him to get the coach's point of view. Because a lot of times what happens is you think that one thing is going on, but that your coach is coming from a totally different place. So often coaches who see your full potential are going to drive you harder. They're going to push you because they want you to be able to reach your full potential. They want you to get those results, because not only is it good for you, but it's good for the whole team. So having that heart-to-heart talk with his coach was really an eye-opener. Next was insights. He had some really clear ideas now as to what he needed to work on in order to strengthen his game and to be able to improve his attitude while on the courts. Finally, there was improve, because now that he had those things and he understood that his coach was actually rooting for him, he was more motivated to strengthen the weak spots, to put the time in, to see those things turn around. So think about that for you, those 5 steps, and see how you can go ahead and flesh them out so that you get a better understanding as to where your coach is and where you stand. Here's 3 things you can do to get started. Is decide what's most important to you. What is that you really, really care about? After that, determine how much effort you're going to go ahead and devote. And then the third thing is discover what it is that matters to you, as far as taking that self-inventory of all the things that you care about and the pros and cons and how much time you have to devote to each and everything. So here's a couple options, is that you could just stay hung up on my coach hates me. That is totally one option. But that's not always in your best interest. Instead, I want to challenge you and encourage you to take an advanced move to look at that as an opportunity to gain some insight, know what you need to work on in order to improve your game, and figure out the opportunities that are available to you right now. Because the bottom line is that it'll help you learn from failure, it'll create that competitive advantage, and you'll have a stronger game. Once again, it'll be a lot more fun for you. So I'd love you to go ahead and post a comment sharing your next move, click the likes button, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're interested in the 7 essential steps to winning, go to my website, expertsportsperformance.com, put your name and email address in the upper right-hand corner. Immediately, you get the first of the video training series. My mission is to show you how to stay cool when the heat is on. Loren Fogelman, expertsportsperformance.com.